Welcome back to Book Break. It is coming up to the end of the month and you know what that means. It is time for our October book haul. I have just received my favourite email of the month. Elle has just sent me a batch of some of the most exciting books we published in the month of October. I'm going to open up this email live in front of you now, and do leave a comment if you spot a book that you're particularly excited about reading. So the first we have in here... Oh, that's gorgeous. I don't know what this book is, but it's beautiful. Wild City, meet the animals who share our city spaces. That is stunning. That's one of the fun things about working for such a big publishing company is we work on so many books. So often in these emails I open something up that I haven't actually seen before. But this looks amazing. So Wild City travels the globe exploring how animals have adapted to live alongside humans. So it takes us all around cities from London to New York, to Stockholm, to Singapore, to Mumbai, and discover all of the different animals that coexist with humans in the cities there. There are cities where you'll find penguins waiting patiently to cross the road. That is delightful. And it's all illustrated the whole way through. If you're starting to think about Christmas gift lists, this looks like a great present. Okay, next. The Saints of Salvation. Okay, we've got a sci-fi one. This is the third and final book in the Salvation sequence trilogy, which is this high sci-fi epic story about humanity fighting against aliens in space. So hardcore sci-fi fans love this series. Then we've got Daily Rituals, Women at Work. Okay, so this is a follow-up to the original Daily Rituals book, and this one is focused specifically on successful women and what their days look like and how they find the time to be so amazing. How great women make time, find inspiration and get to work. And it's got details of the rituals of everyone from Coco Chanel to Nina Simone, stuff like how Louisa May Alcott learned to write with her left hand so that when her right hand cramped up from writing, she could just switch to the other hand. Or maybe it's just funny little traditions that they had, like Isabel Allende apparently insisted that she began every new book she wrote on the 8th of January. So it's got practical decisions they made, little superstitions that they had, just fun little details about their lives that will maybe inspire you. And then we've got the paperback of Me, the autobiography from Elton John, and this has got a brand new chapter in it, so there's even more to find out. This book has no surprises, being completely adored by Elton John fans and just fans of British rock and roll or the music industry in general, because it's got so many amazing behind the scenes stories about Elton John's life, about the music industry. It's just fascinating stuff. And then we have a proper Christmas one. I know I always get excited too early about Christmas, but I am fully in the Christmas spirit, so this is great. Meerkat Christmas. This is a super cute children's book about Sonny the Meerkat travelling around the world trying to find the perfect place to spend Christmas that fits the image that he has in his head, and there's like flaps to lift up and read his postcards from around the world. It's so much fun. And then another one from the same author and illustrator, Emily Gravett, who is just brilliant. This one is called Too Much Stuff, and even just from the front cover you can see how expressive her illustrations are. They bring the stories so much to life. And her stories are always really funny as well as really cute. So this one is about a pair of magpies trying to build their perfect nest, and they just keep adding more and more stuff they're convinced that they need. Very relatable, until disaster is going to strike from the dangers of having too much stuff. Oh, A World Beneath the Sands by Toby Wilkinson. Watch out, because I am going to be doing a book break video starring this book very soon, all about the ancient world, so watch out for that one. This one is about the golden age of Egyptology, and Egyptology is basically the study of ancient Egypt. So the book is absolutely packed with really interesting stuff about ancient Egypt, but also about how archaeologists learned everything we know and the kind of race for information that happened. Then this one has been a book break favourite. A lot of you have loved this, The Girl Who Reads on the Metro by Christine Ferry-Fleury, now out in this beautiful new paperback. So this is translated from French, and it's about a woman called Juliette who lives in Paris, and she takes the metro every day, and she likes to watch the other people on the metro reading and see what she can figure out about their lives. So she's got this really special talent for kind of pairing up people's personalities with books, which leads her to take this very mysterious job, giving people the perfect book at the exact right time in their life. So I've talked about this one in Book Break in the video we did on books about books. I will link to that one below. But it's all about the power of reading to change our lives, which all book lovers like me truly believe in. Then another one that you're going to see in that Ancient World video. In fact, I've actually got it right here on my desk. So this is Pandoras Jar by Natalie Haynes, who is so famous and beloved for her Greek myth retellings, from 1,000 Ships to Children of Jocasta, and this is her non-fiction book where she's exploring the portrayal of women in Greek myths. So she gives us lots of historical context and kind of shows how the portrayals of these women have changed through the retellings through the years, and that the women are actually a lot more nuanced than we might know. Then we have a David Baldacci. Walk the Wire is now out in paperback. So this is from the Amos Decker series. And Amos Decker is an FBI agent who had a life-changing brain injury and can now remember everything. Very useful skill for an FBI agent. Next, we have a legend, John Cooper Clarke. So John Cooper Clarke is a performance poet. He's been described as the godfather of British performance poetry. He's a rock star, he's a presenter, he has such a huge fan club, and this is his memoir, I Wanna Be Yours. John Cooper Clarke has just had this incredible career and he's worked with so many amazing people. So there's a lot of stories in here. Plus he's a comedian, so it's got his trademark sense of humour as well. And then we've got another iconic memoir in here, Look Again by David Bailey. So David Bailey is a very famous photographer who revolutionised fashion photography. He has also worked with a lot of very famous people and had this incredible career that is still going strong. So there's going to be so many stories in here too. Right, next we have Mum and Dad by Joanna Trollope. So this is a story about an English couple living in Spain, and then the husband has a stroke, and so the 3 grown-up children have to step in and help them out. So it's all about that relationship between the parents and children. And Joanna Trollope is of course this wonderfully compassionate writer, and she writes so well about family life here. Maybe another one for your Christmas gift lists. And then we have an actual Christmas book, Together by Christmas by Karen Swan, who is queen of the Christmas bestsellers. So this one is set in Amsterdam. Karen Swan's books are famous for taking us all over the world, and this one is about a woman called Lee who one day finds a book in the basket of her bicycle with a message scrawled in it. So she tries to track down the book's author, which leads to a sparking relationship. But Lee has a secret, and of course it's finally going to catch up with her. Formula for a perfect Christmas book. Now this is the picture book edition of Coming to England. So Coming to England by Floella Benjamin is an iconic book all about Floella Benjamin's experience of moving from Trinidad to London as part of the Windrush generation. It's this really inspiring story, and so this picture book version means it's now going to be accessible to a whole new, younger generation. And now continuing the Christmas theme, My Magical Snowman. So this is one of the Campbell books. These are always so much fun to play with in real life because they've got so much to push around and pull and slide. And this time you'll be playing in the snow. And I want this one too, Dear Santa. So this is celebrating the 15-year anniversary of this book from Rod Campbell, who is most famous for his book Dear Zoo. This is Dear Santa. It's really interactive. You can lift the flaps to look at what presents Santa has brought each time. I want to play with this right now. Then we have Cannibal by Sophia Sinclair. So this is a poetry collection. Sophia Sinclair has been so buzzed about for being such a unique new voice in poetry. So I'm just looking at the description here. It says, colliding with and confronting Shakespeare's The Tempest and post-colonial identity, the poems in Cannibal beautifully evoke the poet's Jamaican childhood and reach beyond to explore history, race relations in America, womanhood, otherness, and exile. Amazing. Next, we have, another beautifully gifty one. So you all know and love Macmillan Collector's Library and that really iconic blue and gold look. And they also do these beautiful little collections. So this is the Art of Solitude, which is a collection of writings all about solitude and how people have been inspired by time on their own. So that's a gorgeous little stocking stuffer, as is this one, Why Friendship Matters, which is again selected writings on friendship. What a beautiful theme, such a lovely thing to give to a friend for Christmas. Then this is The Sicilian Method by Andrea Camilleri from the Inspector Montalbano series. Let me just look up which number in the series this is. It is number 26 in the series out of, I believe, 28. So Camilleri, who was just the most beloved crime writer, very sadly died last year, but there are still a couple more novels in this series to come that he wrote before he died. And now this I have not seen before, Spooky Jokes. Pretty self-explanatory, that sounds fun. I've been talking so much about how excited I am for Christmas, but it is not too late to get this one in time for Halloween. And just reading the description here, I've got a few examples of the types of jokes you will find in here. What do mummies like listening to on Halloween? Rap music. Get it? Because they're wrapped. Which plant likes Halloween the most? Bamboo. And what kind of pets do ghosts have? Scaredy cats. Classic. I've been waiting for this one, a poem for every winter day. You guys love these as well. These are little seasonal collections edited by Ali Aziri. These are taken from the book that Ali Aziri edited, A Poem for Every Day of the Year, and this is taking out the winter section, so you can collect them all of the seasons and have them just looking stunning together on your bookshelf. I know so many of you have been collecting them, and I've had lots of messages of people asking me when this one is coming, so it's here. Ooh, this is a very beautiful book. Confucius from the Heart by Yu Dan. Timeless wisdom for modern life. Lovely. So I'm just reading the back now. This is all about taking the wisdom of Confucius and making it accessible to the modern reader and seeing how it can apply to our very busy, stress-filled lives and how to make them a bit easier. Such a lovely idea and a beautiful looking book. Now we have another edition of Passing by Nella Larsen. So this one has been really popular recently in the Macmillan Collector's Library edition. Passing is the story that The Vanishing Half was based on, so if you loved that novel recently, go and read Passing. It's a modern classic about a woman who bumps into an old childhood friend. They both grew up in the same neighbourhood, but this friend is now passing as white and has ended up marrying this very racist white man who has no idea about her true heritage. And so these women rekindle their friendship, but it puts them both in danger. And then this book is beautiful. I've actually got this one here as well. So this is Journey by Paulo Coelho, who is the best-selling author of books like The Alchemist. This is a guided journal. So it's absolutely stunning outside and inside. It's got questions to help you kind of explore thinking about yourself more deeply. It's got beautiful quotes from Paulo Coelho himself. This would make another wonderful Christmas present, or maybe just a Christmas present that you might buy yourself if you feel like you want this space for self-reflection and self-discovery. It's just stunning. And then, oh, I've got this one here too. Look at me. This is The Silence by Don DeLillo, which I also showed off recently in our video on apocalyptic books. So this is set in the very near future, just a couple of years away, when some friends are gathering to watch the Super Bowl and suddenly the screen cuts out and all of their technology goes dead. So it's this apocalyptic story about what happens when the technology that we all rely on to communicate with each other goes completely silent. A Nurse's Story came out this month. This is a really timely one. This is about Louise Curtis, a nurse working on A&E during the COVID crisis. So it's all about her completely terrifying and heartbreaking experience as the hospitals just filled up more and more, but it's also really hopeful and inspirational about the amazing work of all hospital staff continuing now to this day. Next we have M is for Melanin. So this is an alphabet book, a picture book that teaches you all the different letters of the alphabet, but it's specifically aimed at Black children and celebrating them. I think that's such a lovely idea for children who don't see themselves represented in books as much as they should, and every letter contains these really affirming messages. So we've got E for empowerment, L is for lead, W is for worthy, and of course M is for melanin. And then finally I've got one more in here, and that is Black and British by David Olusoga. So this is the version aimed at younger readers. So he has his full-length version aimed at adults, also called Black and British, which is this incredible history of Britain all the way from Roman times to present day, and exploring the presence of Black people in Britain, even from ancient times, which not everyone knows about, and all of the different experiences of Black people throughout British history. So now he's got this version aimed at younger readers that's got illustrations and maps, and it's just a great introduction to Black history. So there you go, what a great haul. These look really exciting and quite a few Christmas ideas in there if you are feeling mega organised. Do leave us a comment below and letting us know which of these you're particularly excited about this month. And of course I will link to our playlist here of all of the book hauls we've done so far if you just want to keep getting inspiration. See you soon.